It's Monday. Can we do something great today? I don't know. But let's start off by heading to Breck in a supercar, hanging out with Jimmy Walker, hanging out with Liam Doran, and drinking beer. What could go wrong? Let's go. So the idea here is just to set up a few cameras and let them roll. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk to Jimmy about the beers that he brews, the ideas and how he's come up with them, the creative names and logos. If you've been to the Breckenridge Brewery, you've seen them. Everybody knows a Jimmy beer. He has an incredible amount of passion for the beer, and I guess so do I. But I certainly don't know beer like Jimmy does. Liam's a professional photographer. He's going to help a lot with the shots that we have today, but also sit down, drink some beer with us, and tell some stories as well. Talk about his life and how he ended up in Breckenridge as well. These are two of my favorite people in Breckenridge. I love the town, I love the people, I love the brewery and everybody there. It's a fantastic place to go, so why not sit there on a Monday? Why not drink beers with your friends and just have a great day? I think we're destined for greatness today, and hopefully this will end up being the best Monday video that we've ever done. So, yeah, that's all I got. Let's get to the footage, and I'll talk to you later.
Right. You keep saying you want to drink beer, Jimmy, and you're the only one working.
Right?
Working.
Phone is upside down, automatic silent mode.
All right.
Automatic silent mode.
Yeah, well, I hate Mondays too, but I normally don't know if it's Monday or not, because like most of us that live up here and work in hospitality and stuff, we like to work weekends and get weekdays off to ski, so I usually don't know what day it is. So it is Monday. It is Monday. So I think Monday is a great day for drinking beer, and especially if you hate Mondays, drinking beer will definitely fix that. Usually you went big on the weekend, you gotta ease back into the work week, so Monday would be like a slowly coming off the bender of a weekend.
That's how professionals do.
So you don't mind Mondays?
No, I love Mondays. Any day I get to come to work and make beer and drink beer for a living is a good day.
Kind of goes against what we believe in this channel and this video right here. Let's just go ahead and run with it.
Cut that out. I hate Mondays. If only I had beer.
Okay, so what are we having first? Two planker.
Well, I don't know what you're having. I'm having a two-planker. This is our locals' favorite double IPA. When it's not on tap, they tend to riot. It's got a lot of hops in it. It's a little cloudy still because it's pretty fresh, but it doesn't taste green. I really like the flavor profile. It's got a little bit more alcohol than I like to drink, but you know, once again, we'll dull the Monday pain. So two planker, named after two skis, because we all know two skis are better than one, which would be a snowboarder like my wife. We don't like them gibbers. Just kidding. Just kidding.
We love our gibber friends.
Yep. And then I was gonna back it up with a little sexy motor oil. This is our Imperial Oatmeal Stout, aged in award-winning Breck Distillery bourbon barrels. More specialty malts than you can shake a stick at. My favorite specialty malt in here is the double roasted crystal that gives a lot of like dark fruit, cherry, intense fruity notes, you know, so. It's got a lot of flavor, a lot of oatmeal. The first beer ever brewed here 30, however many years ago. What are we at now? 35 years was an oatmeal stout. This is a tribute to that beer.
Does it have a lot of alcohol in it too?
Yeah, 12%. Woo. So it comes in a little shorter glass so you can keep pace with someone drinking a regular strength beer. Also a local's favorite, so popular that it used to only be on the secret tap and you'd have to ask for it to get it, and the servers wouldn't tell anyone about it because they didn't want to share. So we have started trying to ramp up production to keep up with demand and actually have it on the menu and share it with people like yourself.
Yeah, all right, good old days, okay. Sexy, what do we got here?
Joining?
That's Liam.
Oh yeah, hold on.
That's
I'm trying to
Liam.
get some more shots before I...
Over here is the New Zealand IPA, the Peerless, named after a ski run in Breck. Super dry, drinkable IPA, not overwhelming bitterness, so you can have more than one. That's my Desert Island hoppy beer. So a hoppy beer you could drink all day. Only 6%, so not not as strong as most IPAs.
I can honestly
Which
tell
one am I
you that
drinking? Budweiser?
you're drinking, no, you're drinking the Peerless if you
Peerless.
want.
Whatever, I can go get more beers. I know somebody.
I can tell you that I've probably drank 500 Peerless.
Oh, I've drank a shit ton of Fearless.
I mean, Avalanche is obviously our flagship beer. It still sells, outsells any other beer on tap. But the Peerless, I think, is kind of our Breck Pub flagship, so to speak. So a staple we always have on tap, and I think a lot of people know this, but brewers tend to brew beers they want to drink. So we tend to always have the Peerless rolling, because if it's not on tap, we get sad.
All right, well, here's the first one. Thanks, Jimmy,
Yeah,
for
buddy.
having me up.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, it's turning out to be a little bit better.
Ooh, that's happy.
I have to be honest, I don't know a ton about. If you sat me down and said, "Oh, do you taste the this and that?" I don't have the palate for that. I know what I like. It's
Yeah.
pretty much all of them. Several that I like more than others. But let me ask you this question, because this is something that I think makes you a different brewer than everybody else. Where do you come up with all these names?
So what's funny is if you can go into Untapped and come up with a name that's obvious, right? Go into Untapped, you'll find like 20 other breweries have already named a beer that. So trying to come up with a name that no one else has come up with is kind of like throwing darts at a dartboard and just seeing what sticks. It's hard to be original. There's a lot of beers out there, so it's a guessing game.
All right, your favorite beer you've ever named? I mean, I have.
Oh, let's see.
I have some of mine.
I would have done some preparation.
Well, I mean, it's off the cuff. You know, honestly, what's the favorite beer? My personal favorite. I'll start it off. My personal favorite is East Coast IPA. Now you know.
Yeah.
It's named after Biggie Smalls. So
Biggie Smalls and the
because-
album Juicy, right? Which hazy IPAs are often described to no end as being juicy, right? And this was many years ago when the hazy IPAs were still sort of spreading from the East Coast and the Northeast into Colorado. So it wasn't as a popular style when we first started brewing it. So if you don't know hazy IPAs, now you know.
Now you know. So, what was the most creative thing I thought was that when we did we've done the Derby Day here.
Sure.
Derby Day has been a lot of fun here for a long time. So you do that Derby Day, and while you're doing it, you guys created a pairing that we had with everything.
Sure.
And I remember you had East Coast versus West Coast.
Yeah.
So you had the East Coast IPA versus the West Coast IPA, and I believe that the West Coast IPA had chicken and waffles. Wasn't it chicken and waffles, something like that?
We did. Not only was it beer and food pairing, I think we added a musical element as well. So we had beer, food, and music pairing. So we had Tupac versus Biggie Smalls with the IPAs. So that name's probably also been taken.
Probably, but yeah.
I think my favorite name too, just by looking at it, Sexy Motor Oil, pretty cool name. Our lead brewer Suzanne, her husband Anthony runs the best beer bar in town at Kenosha, and for one of the big beer weeks he had some Bourbon County stout, and he was drinking some Bourbon County. He said, "Man, this just drinks like Sexy Motor Oil," and I looked at him and said, "I am gonna take that and make a beer and name it that," and that's how this beer came about. And then the distillers got involved because they wanted to empty the beer barrel after we were done aging the beer in it, and then send it back to the distillery, and they're going to put whiskey back into the barrel and then get flavors of this imperial stout into the whiskey. So instead of having whiskey barrel aged beer, we have beer barrel aged whiskey, and so that was how that whole program started. So it's nice having those guys down the street coming in a lot for lunch and hooking us up with some Sexy Motor Oil barrels.
The Sexy Motor Oil logo might be the coolest. You might have borrowed a little bit of it from Sinclair, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. We have a little more freedom here at the pub because we don't sell things with hijacked logos on them, so they go up on the board, and if somebody sends us a cease and desist, we call it fan mail, frame it, put it up on the wall, and then we can go up and change the logo. No big deal, because we didn't order 20,000 printed cans that we just got a cease and desist order for. So we have a little more fun here. You know, we got a Pub Weiser and a Dos Equis, 2 skis. Nothing related to Dos Equis. That's totally different. 2 skis. So, you know, we goof off.
All right, well then let's take it a step further, right? So you have
Stay crafty, my friends.
Sexy Motor Oil. There's a band named Sexy Motor Oil.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, I know I'm not mistaken because we did this. We named the band for them because they didn't have a name, right?
Yeah, I mean, you being the godfather of the band, they needed a name to break out in Breckenridge, and decided Sexy Motor Oil, pretty badass name. And then later, when you got the garage jumpsuits to go with it, that was pretty dope.
And the hats.
And the hats, yeah. So the Sexy Motor Oil band and beer, pretty nasty combo.
Now the funny part is the kids don't want to be named Sexy Motor Oil. We don't let them stop.
They're from a different generation than we
I
are.
know. And I think it fires them up a little bit when people say, hey, when are the sexy kids playing here again?
Little Rippers from School of Rock and whatnot, so yeah.
So, it's perfect. But definitely you're the most creative guy where it comes to front to back with everything that you're doing with this stuff.
Yeah.
Which I love. And you, the logos, and we'll do some B-roll of the logos so that everybody can kind of see what those look like, kind of scan across them.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll throw me a couple that I could pop up so that everybody can actually see what they are.
Like this one's pretty funny. We brewed this one for Shark Week a couple years ago, the Cherry Jossum. You know, we got blood in the water here, but it's not blood. It's cherry. Have you tried the 2-planker yet?
For 200. If you haven't been 2-planked, then you haven't been in this bar.
I've gotten 2 spanked.
I mean, the story goes back in the day.
2-spanker.
One night, I went home and I was, basically I was told I was too drunk. I drank too much.
By who?
What are you talking about? I only had a few beers. I came down and talked to Suzanne the next day, and I said, God, I don't know what happened last night, but I got really drunk, and I feel like I only had 3 beers. And she goes, no. You had about 7. And I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, well, I mean, you got 2 planks.
Yeah.
She told me.
Well, then
you got 2 planks.
7 2-planks is 14 beers. Just saying.
Well, she said everybody I said, why don't you stop me? She goes, because everybody at some point in time needs to be 2 planks.
Yeah.
And that was it.
The great thing about this town being small is, walking home is easy enough.
The bus route.
Or you can get smowed. Sexy Motor Oil is getting smowed. You get smowed.
I will tell you half the reason.
Not that we advocate excessive drinking.
I bought a house in Warriors Mark is so I could walk home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, we gotta think about this, darling. Where's the brew pub?
Somebody was trying to sell me a house over the weekend. Oh yeah, here's the house. I go, well, where is it in town? Before you even talk about it. And then, I'm not gonna buy the house. I mean, I'm 50 yards from here. What the hell am I gonna do?
I think the other thing that is an easy cure for Monday is just coming up here to the original brew pub, because we all have something in common in this town, and that presents as this nice vibe that people get. Locals and tourists all kind of take part in, and that's because everyone that lives here moved here because living in Breckenridge was more important to them than what they did for a living. Now, since moving here, we're all just trying to figure out how to make a living and afford a house and how to raise a family, but we still don't want to leave because that's how much we love this town, and that's what the vibe that we spread, hopefully, to people that come visit, and I think that'll cure anybody's mind.
Yeah, 100%.
And beer.
And beer. So one of the things that I've said forever is that this is where I feel most comfortable myself.
Right.
Like, being in the corporate world for a long time, dealing with douchebag after douchebag after douchebag who absolutely believe they know everything about business, they would walk into your bar here and tell you how to brew beer because they, ran a packaging plant or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
I don't even know. But to me, I hated the douchebag world so bad that when I would come up here, I felt like this was my place. And the goal was always to get here.
When I used to bartend, I never asked anybody what they did for a living. I asked what they did for fun. Do you ski? Do you mountain bike? Do you golf? Like, these are what we do up here in the summer and the winter, and that's why we live here, because we just love it so much. So,
I mean, that's how it should be.
yeah.
And if you go on a mountain bike ride with Jimmy, let's just be honest about this. We'll move camera angles, give somebody a new camera angle here. If you go on a mountain bike ride with Jimmy, one thing happens, okay? He's gonna take you somewhere you've never been, right? You're gonna get a historical tour of Breckenridge, for sure, right?
Breck is a great place to mountain bike. Over 100 miles of single track mountain biking alone. The trick is, they're all short trails that, trying to link together a ride, you need local knowledge to link together all these pieces of different trails into a great loop that maximizes downhill and minimizes the climbing, which is my jam. I like the flat. There's not a lot of flat here. We're in a valley, so every direction you go tends to be up.
Alright, so
Old Flume.
You came to Breckenridge, you and Rich. From Arizona, right? Arizona State.
27 years ago.
Right? Is that fair to say it that way? Okay.
Yeah.
So 27 years ago, you guys showed up. What were we going to do? Just a summer?
Way more than 27 years ago.
December 95?
Yeah.
Is that 30?
That's 30.
It's kind of a blur at this point.
30, bro.
The older you get, the faster time travels
I mean,
across your brain.
That's true.
people were going to hit that in the comments anyway, so thanks for bringing that up, Liam.
Yeah.
But he just totally hammered you on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you don't mind the camera.
Well, somebody brought up a good point. When you're 7 years old, 1 year is 1/7 of your life, so that's a long time. But when you start to hit 50 plus, 1/50th of your life is a lot less time, so the years seem to be quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some Neil deGrasse shit right there.
Oh, is it?
Short. Life is short. You should drink on Mondays.
You should drink on Mondays. All right, so every Monday, should we just repeat this?
I mean, it's funny how fast your attitude can change after just like, and maybe because I drink too much beer, but halfway through my first beer, I'm pretty happy right now.
I will tell you, I'm happy. And another thing is, a bunch of people who, a lot of those douchebags we were talking about a few minutes ago, the corporate guys, asking me, what are you doing? Why are you doing this channel? Why are you filming and everything? It's like, this is why.
Yeah.
I have an excuse. Now it's Monday. I drove up today, ripped up the mountain, sitting here having beers with my buddies. Why would you not want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Can I put a hold here and say, do you want to go back to his origin story? I mean, or do you want to just be in here?
For sure.
Well, that's really easy because,
I like the origin story.
my buddy Rich and I studying for our final exams in college at Arizona State, and we were skiing up at Flagstaff every weekend, even worked at a ski shop in Phoenix, which a lot of people can't believe, but Ski Pro. Shout out, yeah, Phoenix. And so we're studying for our finals, and Rich is like, Jimmy, I got a buddy in Summit County. We could move there and sleep on his couch and be ski bums for a year before we get serious with our jobs and career. Sounds great. So finished our finals. He had another semester. We did a road trip starting from Virginia, where I lived, up to Alaska and back. And then before we left Virginia, he decided that we're already putting 1 million miles on our car. Let's go see my buddy down in Miami, Coconut Grove. So we detoured from Virginia down to Coconut Grove, and then from there went to Alaska. Settled into Summit County, originally over in Keystone. Then we discovered how awesome Breckenridge is and how much more was going on in Breckenridge. Now, granted, this is 30 years ago. So every year is going to be our last year for 15 years. And this is the same story everybody has that lives here. that you quit saying it's your last year, because this winter is going to be that big winter, right? And winters are long. It's like 8 months of winter sometimes. Summers are short, but they are so sweet. So you make it through a winter, you got to stay another summer because it's so awesome here. Mid-70s and no humidity is like one of the best places in the country. And then you just get stuck, and after 2 or 3 years, you're never going to leave. And then he opened up the bike shop with some buddies next door to the pub, Avalanche Sports. So, you know, we're bringing beers down there, and then we're getting our bikes tuned and our skis tuned, and they're always up here having lunch. So we're still good friends, and we still ski together. And yeah, with Liam as well.
Yeah.
T-Bar Tuesdays. So
I came in only a year or two after these guys, and then Rich was basically the first person I met here. And I was in the shop working there when he showed, like I was already there and he had been on tour. Remember, he used to do the boot tour.
Ski Mechanics Workshop.
Ski Mechanics Workshop. So he came back from that, and I'm in the shop, and he's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm Liam." "Oh, want to go drink some beer?" "Yeah." And that was 28 years ago for me. And we've been hanging out ever since.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Check 1, 2. Pub life, take 2.
Okay, well, since we're going down origin stories, right? Let's talk about an interesting origin story over here. All right. Liam showed up to Breckenridge to be what?
To just ski?
That's it.
I didn't show up to be anything.
All right, fast forward 27 years for you, 28?
I'm 27 or 28 years now.
All right, and what do you
The
do
brewer
today?
has the camera.
I do this. I take pictures, and that's it. That's what I do for a living.
Okay. He does not just take pictures. He travels the world
He's
and
a famous
photographs. It's
photographer.
the most amazing thing in the world.
He's been all the big magazines.
I'm going to tell you how humble this guy is, okay, real quick. Okay, real fast. This is how humble Liam is. Liam and I talked and geeked out. Somebody told me, hey, you have to meet Liam. He's a photographer. You guys would hit it off.
Probably Jimmy.
Yeah, it might have been Jimmy. He said you would hit it off, photography and all that kind of stuff. And I said, okay, let's run. Oh, yeah, I'd love to meet him. So I meet him and hit it off immediately. We geek out about all kinds of cameras and all kinds of different things. But he fails to tell me that he's an absolute beast, and he's had the cover of Powder magazine and 16-page spreads and traveled the world and done all these amazing things. And you know how I found out? I found out because he put up a carousel of like 15 of his shots that were the best shots of the year that he had done, which absolutely blew my mind. And so I think my response to you was, I messaged you and I said, "What the fuck, Liam? When were you going to tell me this, Liam?" So I appreciate him because I geek out with him all the time. And he's such a good role model for me, such a good mentor. It makes me happy that I have a friend like that.
Oh, hell
we
yeah.
drink a ton of beer, we have a great time.
And it all came through the brew pub.
All came through the pub.
He wanted
Jimmy,
you to like
you're
him
bringing
for
people
who he
together.
was, not because he's a famous photographer.
That's how I roll, you know. You got to be in for the real deal, you know.
So yeah, I mean, just 2 days ago, Ronan and I were talking, and I just said, "Fucking Liam." That's what I said, "Fucking Liam," and he goes, "Why are you saying that?" I go, "Look at this," and I showed him that cover of Powder.
Oh yeah.
Cover of Powder magazine, and he's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I go, he goes, "Is that him skiing?" I go, "No, that's him taking the photo," and he goes, "Holy shit." It's like, you're very humble. But the cool part about you is that you actually will share your knowledge. Same with you, Jimmy. Everybody I talk to talks about how Jimmy will share everything with them.
That's proprietary.
But that's why Breck is so cool. Because this is it's not a town, it's not a resort, it's a town. It's like a community of great people. I mean, that's why I love it up here so much. You know?
I agree.
Some of these great people have gotten me in trouble. Jimmy doesn't want the camera.
I don't know.
Does he?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it right here.
Yeah, do something.
Beer.
How long we been going?
Cheers.
30
Oh, we
minutes?
need it. Yeah, your 90 seconds is going to go like...
We'll figure it out.
But that's the thing, like you were saying about sharing secrets and knowledge. Like, we always show people around town. I've met some people that I'm still friends with to this day. A fella from Wicked Weed, Jason. So he was in here and he was wearing a Wicked Weed shirt, and I was like, "Nice shirt, you work there?" And sure enough, he did. And we drank beer all afternoon and been friends ever since. And so
Well, even I think it's cool that you and Ford are buddies.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, you know, a competing brewery.
Yeah.
But you guys like.
I have a ton of brewery shirts that I wear, and they're all other people's breweries. And they're like, oh, why would you wear a Broken Compass shirt? I'm like, because they're my friends. And I want them to kick ass. We share tons of supplies, hops, malt, knowledge on how to brew. We're always collaborating, and we share stuff. So from what I heard, that's not universal. Some states are a little more private with their knowledge, but we definitely share, and all the breweries in Summit County hang out together, drink beers, more or less. So.
Well, I mean, think about this. You know, how many times have I seen Ford pouring beers at a farmhouse event?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, what's he doing down there? He's hanging out with his homies, doing his stuff.
Yeah. And their tasting room is next door to the Breck Brew Pub, and people thought that was going to be a threatening big deal. So it's not, because our servers get off work and go there and drink beer all the time, and vice versa. So we. You know, if you can't find somebody here, they might be next door drinking a beer at Broken Compass.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think I think it's so cool. And Ford's an awesome dude, and I mean, honestly, it just makes people gravitate towards this end of town because you want to hit both breweries.
Yeah.
Oh, let's swing by Broken Compass, and we'll swing by the Brew Pub, which I myself do fairly often.
Fairly often.
Yeah, I've been known to do the same. So.
Well, the joke with me is that I always say, yeah, I'm going to go into town, and I make it 50 yards.
yeah.
And then I end up staying here for 6 hours, and then I go home.
The other beauty of this town is the smallness, so you don't have to call everybody and organize a meeting. You can just go out and find your friends, and you will. You know, if El Paso Lasso's playing somewhere, you know you're going to find all your buddies. Start at the pub, and everything's downhill from here. We're on the highest side of town, so you know you can kind of just roll downhill. You go out to OG Compass on Airport Road, where the Breck Distillery is, and all the dispensaries. We call that adult Disneyland out there. So, yeah, they can even come get you and bring you back to town. So, yeah, it's pretty good.
That is good.
It is awesome. Like
Good stories, though, dude.
Well, it's all totally legit. Like I should probably be recording this too, but like even when I'm traveling around the world and you know you meet all these pro skiers, right, in Jackson, or like we're in freaking I forgot a country too, Antarctica, which isn't really a country. It's a non-country.
Oh yeah, just kind of Antarctica. I forgot that.
But
Did we buy that? We didn't buy that.
We didn't buy that.
Not yet.
Greenland.
So soon.
It's Greenland.
You're gonna take it by force. Watch out, penguins!
Polar bears out!
No polar bears in Antarctica.
Too cold?
No, they're only in the North Pole.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, hey, public school kid, cut me some slack.
Cut that out.
But like all the time, people like there's no bullshit. When I'm traveling in Utah or Jackson, they'll be like, "Oh, you live in Breck? Why?" I'm like, "Because it's freaking awesome. We have an amazing community of friends. I've been there forever. I'm not going anywhere." Like,
Why would they say that though?
Oh, because it's not rad enough skiing. And there is some truth to that from a photography standpoint. It's really hard to shoot here. That has changed now because of the Explorer Act, thank goodness. But for a long time, I had to like have a permit, which costs money, and you have to set up for a certain day. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
What the hell's the Explorer Act?
The Explorer Act now makes it so that we, you, I, any of us, can go out, and if we are under 6 people and we are filming in places that we don't need, you know, that aren't impacting the other visitors, we can film editorial and commercially in national parks and in national forests. Under 6 people, you're not impacting anyone else. So for years, that was not the case. You always had to get a permit. It was a huge pain in the ass. I had to pull permits for a commercial shoot in Jackson, and it was 85 emails deep to get a 3-day permit, and it was a disaster. I'm like, what an incredible waste of time and resources. So anyway, that is now over. As of April 1st of this year, that is over. So you don't need permits anymore. It's fantastic.
I think if you want to talk about Breckenridge ski area, what I like to say about Breck is if you compared it to other ski areas, and none of them have had snow for 2 weeks. Breck is pretty freaking good because why? A, we have a lot of wind, which moves the snow around. So again, local knowledge, the lee side of slopes can have wind dumping in snow, and it can be boot deep, and it hasn't snowed in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the other side is frozen ocean, boilerplate, something else, right? And also we don't get a lot of freeze thaw in the winter. We're too high,
right?
So our snow can stay better conditioned. So
Yeah.
I like to brag about that.
That is something that I mentioned to people. I'm like, well, the thing about Breck is it's never going to be the best skiing on the planet, although sometimes it gets close, but it's never the worst, ever.
Right.
It always stays pretty damn good here. And even when Jackson turns
And we
into
got
a
weed.
frozen ocean of death, frozen ocean, it's still good
Suck
here.
it, Utah.
Hello, what was that again?
I said, suck it, Utah. No, love Utah, especially getting interlodged at Elta.
Oh, dude.
Highlight of my life.
Yeah.
It's a little late for that now, Jimmy, after the double suck at Utahs.
Can't repair that. Utah, give me 2.
I built my career kind of started in Utah.
Did it really? Mm-hmm. Can I just say what this should be right now? It should be a fucking podcast. Because this right here, just geeking out about that, this should be the podcast.
People want to watch us drink beer?
No, they want to hear the
drink beer?
stories. Why wouldn't people want to hear the stories of a professional photographer, an unemployed guy, and a...
Unemployed.
My wife often elbows me when someone starts asking me a question about beer because I get a little excited and I go on, and she's like, "Jimmy, give him the short version," like, because I just geek out and go on forever.
But you've always been that guy who likes. I mean, you do a lot of different things. You were into photography for a long time, still are. But like horses, all those kind of different things you've done. Golf.
He was a birder too.
Still am a birder. I call it birding. My wife calls it nerding.
I thought Denise was a birder too. No.
Hell no.
Denise is not a
Shouldn't
birder.
like those dirty birds.
You know who loves the birds? He's gonna get mad when I say this.
Who's that?
Ronan.
Oh, nice.
Like a bird freak.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Go, birds. But tell me, birds are dope. We need a bird. Should we get an owl? Should we get an owl? I think we need to move to Japan. I don't think we can have an owl here, can we?
Has he seen The Big Year? Big Year is amazing.
Big Year birding movie.
It's great.
It's a birding movie.
Yeah, Jack
But
Black
it's
and
a
Steve
comedy.
Martin.
Jack Black and
Steve Martin.
It's freaking awesome.
No kidding.
When I was doing horseback rides at the ranch over in Fairplay,
Oh, yeah, you were at the ranch?
there's owls over there, great horned owls.
I love owls, man. Owls are sick.
There wasn't any rides. It was the off season. We're cutting firewood, just getting ready for winter. And I found a pair of binoculars and a birding book and went out and found like 20 different birds. And the middle fork of the South Platte runs right through the ranch, and awesome birding. 55 birds that summer identified. 55 unique birds to the ranch.
So when you bird, I mean, what is it you do? You get the binocs out and you...
Yeah, you track them. You know, you got to find them. You got to like figure out if that bird matches the habitat. You know, like only found in South America, probably not that bird. You know, so you know you get the app or the book, figure out what is regional. You know.
Well, sometimes though, that's what birders get freaked out about is an Arctic tern might get blown into southern Colorado, and people will fucking fly from around the country to find that Arctic tern. Like that is because it's not in its home range. It's not supposed to be there. So my mother-in-law, who's in town right now, she is a birder as well. A bird flew into her backyard, which is one of these birds that's not supposed to be there, and people were knocking on her door for like
there's a
4
rare
days.
sighting
She was
section
like,
of the app. You can find rare sightings, and people will get on there and be like, "Oh shit, we gotta go."
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I was still birding at the ranch, and the ranch owner, Bill Berger, he hit me up one day. He's like, "Jimmy, I saw this really cool bird. You won't believe it." And I was like, "What? What was it?" He goes, "It was a double-breasted mattress flapper." I still tell that story. It's so funny.
I got a good bird story for you. Okay, so I fly to Australia. at a place called Hamilton Island. Okay. And Hamilton
Sounds
Island.
like good birding.
You already know this?
I bumped the
No, but
camera.
I'm just saying it sounds like good birding.
Oh, we're good. All right.
Make sure.
It's only going to be 2 terabytes of video on that thing.
Probably getting hot.
No, it's still good, is it?
It's still pretty good. Mine's getting hot.
All right, so the bird story. Fly into Hamilton Island in Australia. It takes, from the time I left my house in Denver to the time I get to Hamilton Island, 33 hours. 4 flights, a boat ride, and all kinds of different stuff to get to this place. And when you check in, basically they give you golf carts. It's a small island. You go hang out.
Oh, yeah.
It's up kind of by the barrier reef and that. And what they tell you is, do not leave your sliding glass door open because the birds will come in and they'll get into your minibar. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, cool, I got it, So I'm there a couple days. One morning, I've got the sliders open. I take a shower. I come out of the shower and here's
the
2
Alfred
birds.
Hitchcock.
Door is wide open. Okay, one of them's got $14 cashews already open, hammering the cashews, and the other one is like pretending I can't see him. I'm like, what? Are you shitting me? The thing is that they were not afraid. They could get into your minibar. I think it probably cost me about $60.
I was picturing them opening the tiny little airplane bottles of gin. How the hell are they going to do
That one
this?
little
It's like,
claw just, hey.
Crossbill had it.
I mean, when you
Crossbills can get it.
when you catch a bird with your mini bar door open and he's eating the $14 cashews, it's like that's a moment because you're in a towel and you're like, oh my god, what's going on here? And he didn't stop. He kept pumping them,
He's like, what? You got this, right, bro?
That's
You
it.
got the last one tap.
That's it.
How's your Monday going?
I mean,
You can tell it's going.
I know we maybe
The
need to
beers are
re-up.
going down,
Can we
and the
re-up?
conversation is going out, and
Yes.
a lot of tangent.
All right. Well, you know what? Maybe
direction.
we should pause and get a few more.
Yeah, I like beer.
Is that good? Okay. I like Liam, and we don't have to hire Liam.
Greg, beer.
Bring him along for this.
Greg Beer.
Greg Beer.
He's like Mr. Tough Guy.
Beer.
Best one ever? Yeah. Can we take it up higher next week? I don't know, but I'm sure as hell gonna try. So I'll see you then. That's all I got. Later.